Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday, July the 20th, and I apologize. I know I'm running really late on this mailbag, but it's going to be a good one. There are 11 packages to get through, so I'm not going to screw around and waste any time. But once again, just a quick reminder, this coming weekend, that's partly why I've been so busy and my schedule's been so whacked out, is ArmadilloCon. I'm doing the writer's workshop on that bright and early Friday morning, as well as a couple of panels during the weekend. Very much looking forward to that. Ken Liu is going to be guest of honor. Stina Light is the Toastmaster, etc., etc. So it's always a good convention every summer. And so looking forward to getting back to that. But without further ado, let's get into the books this week, shall we? All right, so this first one is a Simon & Schuster package. So this is a book called Devil's Pocket. The author is John Dixon, and it would appear to be the sequel to a book that he put out last year, which I got a copy of, called Phoenix Island. This is out August 4th from Gallery Books. And let's see if I can give any bit of a brief synopsis here that won't spoil the first book. It just says, with a chip in his head and hundreds more throughout his body, 16-year-old Carl Freeman was turned from an orphan with impulse control issues into a super soldier, against his will. Now he bides his time inside the mercenary Phoenix Force, playing the role of committed protege, diligent, durable, loyal, but refusing to do the one thing that will complete his transformation: kill. Okay. So, sounds a bit YA dystopia, just a tad, except it's not marketed as such. It's marketed as sort of mainstream fiction. But in any event, if you read the first book and enjoyed it, or Phoenix Island, let me know in the comments. But this is Devil's Pocket, the sequel, and it's out the 4th of August. This will be a Tor package. All right, some of you have been following this series. I've read a bit of the first book, and I've liked the looks of it, but I've never really gotten fully into it, and perhaps I should go ahead and correct that error. But this is Dead Man's Reach, which is the most recent book in a fantasy series by D.B. Jackson. That is the pseudonym for David B. Coe, who has written, I guess, traditional epic fantasies under his real name. This is out the 21st of July, so it's tomorrow. The Thief Taker Chronicles is the name of the series. First book was Thief Taker, and then Thieves' Quarry, and then I think this is the fourth one, but it says it's a standalone fourth installment in the series, and it's set in pre-revolutionary Boston. Politics, death, magic, and politics, well, from the Department of Redundancy Department, intertwine with real places and figures in this captivating tale. The February snows falling upon Boston in 1770 are doing nothing to dampen the heated passions of would-be rebels and loyalist Tories going head-to-head on an almost daily basis. Tensions are rising, and all parties fear the inevitable bloodshed when the violence escalates. Despite his best efforts to stay out of the fray, trouble always seems to find the thief-taker Ethan Cale, and these days Boston seems to be nothing but trouble. Well, these days Boston seems to be nothing but trouble. Dodging fights and scrounging for a living, Ethan soon discovers that some enemies don't stay buried, and a storm far worse than any winter blizzard is rising right around him. So Dead Man's Reach from D.B. Jackson is out in hardcover from Tor Books tomorrow. Back to Gallery Books for this next title. This is called The Fifth House of the Heart. The author is Ben Tripp, and if you think the cover art indicates that it is a bit on the vampire-y side, you're not wrong. This book comes out July 28th. The House of the Heart, it says, packs a punch in the best-selling tradition of Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Sachs, a vainglorious and well-established antiques dealer, has made a fortune over many years by globe-trotting for the finest lost objects in the world. Only Sachs knows the true secret to his success. At certain points of his life, he's killed vampires for their priceless hoards of treasure. That sounds like cheating. But now, Sachs's past actions are quite literally coming back to haunt him, and the lives of those he holds most dear are in mortal danger. To counter this unnatural threat, and with the blessing of the Holy Roman Church, Sachs must travel across Europe in pursuit of incalculable evil and immeasurable wealth, with a ragtag team of mercenaries and vampire killers to hunt a terrifying ageless monster, one who is hunting Sachs in turn. So, if vampires are your jam, you got a new book coming out a week from tomorrow, The Fifth House of the Heart by Ben Tripp from Gallery Press. And this is a package from Random Penguin, which is nothing less than the finished copy of Half a War by Joe Abercrombie, of course. This is on sale the 28th of July, and it is the final volume in his popular YA trilogy that began with Half a King. Half a King was a nominee, ended up on the shortlist for our very own BookTube SFF Awards in the YA category. Words are weapons. Princess Scara has seen all she loved, made blood and ashes, she is left with only words. But the right words can be as deadly as any blade. If she is to reclaim her birthright, she must conquer her fears and sharpen her wits to a lethal edge. So here you go. The trilogy ends with Half a War by Joe Abercrombie on the 28th. And what do we have? More Random Penguin. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, video game tie-ins are not ordinarily the sort of thing I review, but here we have one from Jim C. Hines. Fable, Blood of Heroes is based on that video game RPG saga. It says original tie-in to the latest game's title in the series, Fable Legends, releasing later this year. The novel delves into a never-before-glimpsed era following a band of adventurers who come together to defend a kingdom in desperate need. So there you have it. If you're a Fable fan, then look for this on August the 4th by Jim C. Hines from Del Rey Books. Okay, and this one comes from HarperCollins. Okay, this is an arc for a book called A Crucible of Souls. The author is Mitchell Hogan, and I actually picked up this arc, a copy of this arc, already at the Nebula banquet. I added it to my big bag of swag. I remember they had that huge goodie bag and table full of freebies, and well, this was on it. So I know that these arcs have been around for a while, but it's nice of them to finally get me a copy. This is a book that won the Aurealis Award, which is Australia's big science fiction award. This version comes out September 22nd, the American edition. It says it was originally self-published to amazing success. It's a throwback to old school at its finest. All right, so it says, think Terry Brooks, David Eddings, and Raymond Feist. So nothing new here, but if you've had a hankering for that kind of fantasy, well, looks like Mitchell Hogan is here to fill the bill. Now, the first two books in the Sorcery Ascendant sequence have been fully edited and revised and will be published along with a third novel in trade paperbacks. So, here we go. Taken in by monks after his parents died, Kaldan has lived a quiet, studious life. Though the other students treat him as an outcast charity case, he has a few close friends, there we go, and an aptitude for casting that fill his life and give him hope for the future. That hope is destroyed, though, after the monks reveal the brutal truth about his parents' deaths, and now someone is asking questions about them around the monastery. All right, and I guess you could probably fill in the blanks as to how the story is going to go from there. But again, if you like old school and very traditional epic fantasy, well, then you may want to give A Crucible of Souls a try by Mitchell Hogan on September 22nd. I mean, it did win an award, so there's that. Okay, this next book comes from Harper again. It's by Adam Mansbach, The Devil's Bagman, and apparently it is the sequel to a book that came out a couple of years ago called The Dead Run, which now, if memory serves, I have a copy of that. It's a horror novel, and the author is also the guy who wrote that sort of parody children's book that came out about a year ago called Go the Fuck to Sleep. You know, Samuel L. Jackson did the audio version of it and cracked everyone up. This is that guy. It says, a monster lives within Jess Galvin, one that is trying to clamor, claw, and coerce its way to the forefront of Galvin's mind. That monster is the soul of El Kusui, a fearsome 500-year-old Aztec priest that has taken up residence within Galvin following the cataclysmic events of the Dead Run. Gee, sorry, I guess I just spoiled that whole book. Anyway, every moment is a battle to keep the priest at bay, a battle not to give in to the temptations of Kusui's gifts of superhuman power. Galvin must maintain tight control on his mind and body and stay away from the person he loves most in the world, his daughter, to protect her and the world. So here we have The Devil's Bagman is out tomorrow. Am I right on that? Yes, it's out the 21st from Harper Voyager. And here's a very thin package from Prometheus Books, so it's going to be a Pyre title. This is Rising Tide. The author is Rajan Khanna, and it's the sequel to a book called Falling Sky, which I did really want to read when I first got it, but, well, now maybe I have an excuse. Rising Tide is released on October 10th from Pyre. Again, don't want to give away any spoilers, but this is science fiction. It says, a cool world. I'm going to quote Felicia Day's little pull quote here, because apparently she really liked it. A cool world with steampunk and zombies combined. The voice is very real and gritty, and I felt immersed in the world, says Felicia. Abercrombie edgy and a quick read at that. Okay. So, and so someone else says that it combines post-apocalyptic SF with steampunk and to apparently good effect. So there we go. October the 6th is the release date for October, well, this says October 10th. The back says October 6th. This often happens. So one of those dates, we're going to see Rising Tide from Rajan Khanna from Pyre. Okay, what do we have here? Something else from Random Penguin. Well, they're fast-tracking this then. This is the movie tie-in edition of the second Maze Runner novel, The Scorch Trials. It says now a major motion picture. So I guess they're just forging ahead with those movies and, you know, hoping they'll be big hits. This particular edition with this particular cover comes out the 4th of August. And so if you've already been reading the Maze Runner series, I guess you know what it's all about. But again, we're back to young adult dystopia. Oh no, the grown-ups want to kill us sort of thing. And let's see, the movie tie-in edition of the Scorch Trials, it says, includes the original novel and features movie art on the cover, as we can see, as well as an 8-page full-color insert with photos from the film. If you're that big a fan, it must have that sort of thing. So, here we go. Scorch Trials reprint is out on August 4th. All right, this is a small press title that comes to me directly from the author, T. Eric Bakutis, or something like that. I'm sorry, I tend to mangle pronunciations of names. I'm very bad at that. This author actually got in touch with me via email, and apparently he found out about my site off of Reddit. Apparently Michael J. Sullivan had a post on Reddit from a few years back where he was recommending various SFF review sites, and mine was on there, surprisingly enough, so that was very nice. But it says here, Kara was 13 when she learned her mother was dying. 5 years later, the last component of her mother's cure waits in the city of Tarna, but that is one journey she may not survive. Even as a glyph binder, a wielder of blood glyphs created by a people long dead, Kara is no match for the madman that hunts her or the dark forces at his beck and call. As those Kara loves fall one by one, her hunter's purpose is finally revealed. Demons thought long defeated stir now in the shadows of her world, seeking a dark power hidden in Kara's blood. Tireless and without pity, these demons will not be satisfied until they claim Kara's world and her soul. So world first and then soul. All right, but this, it's a small press book by T. Eric Bakutis, and it is called Glyph Binder. And that is a fairly attractive addition for a small press release. And our last package comes to us from Simon & Schuster. Okay. This is a complete surprise. I honestly knew nothing about this. And at first, when I pulled it out of the envelope, I thought, this doesn't look like science fiction, but apparently it is. So pay close attention. The title is The Total Emasculation of the White Man, which should make some of my viewers very happy and others less so. It goes like this. With a device that enables him to control the minds of other people, the teenage boy at the center of this novel has powers just short of godly, and he's not afraid to use them, especially after opening his bedroom door one day to discover his grandmother having drunken sex with a black man in his own bed. Driven over the edge by his family's actions, the teenager turns against his grandmother, his father, and his father's assistant, programming them to do his bidding or leaving holes in their memory. After taking revenge on his family, the teenager decides to pair together a couple named Felix and Cassiopeia, who must carry out their controller's increasingly erratic schemes. In their travels, Felix comes upon a store selling an unapologetically racist and sexist book called The Total Emasculation of the White Man, which sets him off on a new and even stranger quest. Meanwhile, only one person is aware of the teenager's role in the ongoing chaos, and he must act soon if the farce is ever to come to an end. Blending elements of fantasy, time travel, family drama, and comedy, The Total Emasculation of the White Man will challenge your views of gender and race relations while entertaining you with a funny, provocative tale unlike anything you've read before. And the author is David Valentine Bernard. This comes out August 4th. Interesting. He's an African-American writer. It says he's currently finishing his PhD in sociology. So this is just going to be a full-on satire of racism, misogyny, probably dude bro culture. This could be really pretty funny, and a book that might piss some people off in a way that they might need. But that is exactly my face whenever I feel totally emasculated, right there. Well, I've got to say, that is a most unusual and interesting stack of books this week, was it not? Let me know in the comments what you think. As always, fire them up. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching, and of course, please share this video far and wide with your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe to SFF180. That is how this channel grows. No rest for me tonight. I have another video to record immediately after this one, but as always, thank you for watching. Welcome to all of my new subscribers, and until I see you guys next time, happy reading.